Welcome back to 80% tutorial series for Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Now we're gonna go to World 3. When you have beaten second world boss, all you will get as a cutscene is a wise Waddle Dee. And after that, just go to the world map and we'll move on, learning the rest of the levels. There's still far more levels, to be honest, to go through. For this level and this world especially, well for this world, you need 23 Waddle Dees. 21 actually, my bad. You need 21. And a free Waddle Dee is literally right here. Climb up on top of this rocket, and that's it. And go all the way to the next loading zone. Now for this part, you kinda want to just move however you want. These amusement park machines are in a cycle. They're not random. This is the kind of movement I've been learning. Oh, nice homing attack. If you're not close to the enemy and you try to slide to like off from it, it will homing attack that enemy. Kind of the reason why you want to try to avoid sliding when you're nearby any enemy. But that's kind of the first room to go through. Also the same thing, these are in a cycle. It doesn't make it any faster if you go from the right side or left side. You still have to wait for this next part. This right here. To make it up here so you can get to this switch. This is still part of the route. It's probably the only slowest Waddle Dee in this world, but there's just no any better Waddle Dee to replace that. In a previous world I explained to you and showed you how to skip a boss fight, mini boss fight. Well, here I'm gonna show you how to skip using a mouthful ability. Here's a mouthful ability. If you want to use that, you're all free to use it, but I'm gonna show you a really easy way to skip all this. And you will only need to use mouthful ability at the end. You see the ledge up there? You can make it there up like this. Oops, my bad. Let's cut that out. You see that ledge up there? That's how you can make it up here. That's really simple, isn't it? What you wanna do for that is make a full hop and dash twice with fire. Then spam jump and you climb up all the way here. Or fly up there actually. It's a very simple trick and I highly recommend you learn it. Make sure you don't hit 3, otherwise you go there like that. If you land on a... You can actually land like around... You can land here too. And you can stand on it. If that happens, you're still good. But anyway. I'll show you one more time. Full hop, 2 dashes, keep spamming jump, and that's how you can make it up here. And skipping first part of mouthful. Water mouthful. Now this part even has a skip as well, and it's around here. You want to get on this lantern, do 1 dash to the right, like hit this, and you land on this lantern again, and do the same one again. You don't have to do dashes, you can just fly around like this, and that's how you can skip these parts. That's how you can skip this part's mouthful as well. Pretty simple, isn't it? There is a Waddle Dee here. You can collect it if you want, but we will have enough Waddle Dees for the rest of the world, so it's all good to skip this one. There are good backups at the late levels. There are good backups in a 3-4. The next level might be the easiest one out of these any levels. in this world actually. We want to do a race twice, and we want to win them as well. Winning them and having hit the certain requirements gives us a free Waddle Dee. Also, winning the race under first place, or just having a better than the first place time, will give you a Waddle Dee in a cage. Starts right away with the first one being the race. You want to beat it under 20 seconds to get the Waddle Dee. And the route I'll be taking is just... You'll see, it's pretty simple. Just make sure you don't bonk everywhere, I guess. And avoid the mud as well. A little bit of shortcut there. Go from the ramp. Jump on this part. It's not gonna slow you down much. So you can get under 20 seconds. That's a free Waddle Dee. And the first place Waddle Dee as well. Definitely try to go avoid those spikes. It's not nice to get hit by those. When it comes to this part, I usually like to land here, then do another one. Because the fire can't make it all the way there, actually. You start losing height slowly, but slowly if you just keep spamming it or losing height. Wild Edge is back, just keep spamming fire. There's not really much else you can do, and avoid the attacks as well. When he puts down the shield, you go behind him, and then you deal the rest of the damage for the fight. Make sure you get him off from the stage. Then the fight is actually over and you can continue. The barrier is up there until he disappears. Now for the second race, you want to go through the shortcuts, and that's it. There are 2 shortcuts to go through, and that is not one of them. It's these boxes. Go through that, that's the first one. And the next one is right here. Then you win the race. That's it, that's the shortcuts. There's more here as well if you want to take them. Saving a little bit of time. Hey, you see, it's a pretty simple speedrun, isn't it? Well, after all, it's a pretty simple game. If you don't end up adding mixes and other abilities, like switching between abilities here and there all the time. Mixes are that you mix up 2 enemy abilities, then you play a roulette to pick the one ability you want to collect, you want to use. But yeah, that's 3-2. Pretty easy level to go through. Just make sure you win all the races and maybe hit the requirements as well. Definitely hit the requirements. They're free bottles, after all. Defeating Wild Edge using an invincible candy requires you to go to the secret room. You have to also beat it. You get a Waddle Dee from that though, but that's why we don't do that requirement at all. Next level is pretty simple. It's like everything, right? I don't know for you, but for me it is. But let's make this simple though. I'll explain how this goes. You see those Waddle Dees? They spawn on a certain spot and you can avoid them. That's about it. You can even go past them if you're fast, but if you get hit by them, they will take off your ability and you will have to grab it back. I guess that one has a timer, I don't know, but you want to avoid them, pretty much. They have a really big hitbox too. But flying around is the best way right now. Here I like to use one dash like that, so I don't get hit by one of those. You can grab this light bulb quite far away too. For the dark room, I actually skip this. You don't need it. You actually don't need that light bulb at all. I'll show you the part that I'll be doing. I guess the good way to... Well, the first things first. There's invisible walls around this area. You cannot just go this way and skip it. No, there's invisible wall. Oh, and one thing about Fire Volcano. I should have explained that in a previous video. You want to use Fire Volcano mostly twice if you want distance and height. Because using third Fire Volcano dash mid-air, you'll start losing height and you cannot start flying with this curve kind of flying anymore. But anyway, for going through this dark room, using these coins as a visual cues is really good and helpful for going through this. When you're on this part, you know that you can freely go this way and dash like around here. There's a free platform to stand on. Around here is the same thing. You see that coin, you're here, that's a good spot to know you're safe. Now here's a skip you can make, you don't need to get the light bulb. This is actually pretty easy. Full jump, start flying, 2 dashes, and start flying again. And I just messed up that somehow. Hold up. So you want to make a... My bad. This is actually a simple skip. You want to make a full hop, 1 dash, and start flying again. And a dash again. So, to rephrase this actually, you want to make a full hop, dash, full hop, fly again and dash again. You don't want to make 2 dashes. You may not be able to make it. Well, you can make it, but it's probably far better you use one dash, fly, and dash again. So you'll be able to make it there then, like that. That's the dark room. Oh yeah, one thing is that you want to avoid corridor ghosts. Don't touch them. I guess best thing is that I'll say just avoid hitting any enemies, so you'll get this requirement of getting extra waddle. Just avoid getting hits. It's easy, right? I hope. This is normally a part where you have to get a vending machine, but there's actually an easy skip for this. Full hop, start flying and land on this part. When you start jumping, they disappear. You can make it around like that. It's pretty easy. Make sure you're up here. You're safe. Like safe. You're in a good spot. You want to be. Then just full hop to them and just dash them to them. Doesn't really matter. I guess. Yeah, that's how you wanna do it. Normally you have to do this part with a vending machine, but we don't have it, so we have to avoid these signs by walking to the other side and so on. At the end of this part there is a Waddle Dee you can collect, but it's not worth it. We'll have enough Waddle Dees to collect in the next level, so I recommend to skip that. And that's the third 3-3 level. Next level will have a couple of requirements that... Well, actually there's one requirement in the next level that can be hard to collect if you're not careful. You want to avoid touching mud. It's easy, right? Just avoid touching it. Yeah, I just avoid touching it, I guess. Well, it can be hard to avoid it if you wanna go fast, but yeah. Though there are a couple of good Waddle Dees to collect if you don't have enough waddles. I'll show them. The start of this level has a couple things to keep in mind. When you hit this switch, or the faster you hit the switch, the better it will be. You get to go through this. And maybe avoid these. Maybe avoid that there too. Like that. I don't know. It depends. That's a cycle. The faster you get there, the better it will be. And these are in a cycle too. The only kind of RNG this run will have are boss fights, and that's about it. So we continue this level normally, like this. If you have somehow missed a Waddle Dee and you need an extra one, there's a free Waddle Dee right here. You can go like that. It's a caged one, but it's an extra Waddle Dee, a safety one if you need. This is the only room where you have to avoid getting hit by a mod. If you want to, you can get the fire ability, you can get the tornado and just go through the level. And to be fair, let's grab the tornado because we can get fire back in the next room. If you avoid the mod, you get the requirement done. That's it then. One of the extra bottles I'm getting is actually over here. Or say, a part of the route. Getting rid of that sign poster is a free Waddle Dee. It's a good one to get. So that's the room. You won't know for sure have you avoided getting hit by the mod if you haven't beaten the level. Only beating the level will tell you that. You can do this with the part with the fire too, it doesn't matter at all how you do this. But if you use the tornado, this is the way to get the fire back then. It's up to you, it's a personal preference I feel like. That card in the right side might be too fast to avoid. Probably far better to avoid it than try to go fast and mess up your movement and maybe get hit by it and lose your ability. Depends what happens. Losing the ability is still kinda depending on what kind of hit hits you. So you see that we cleared without stepping on any mod. That's great. We have every Waddle Dee we need to go to the boss fight of this world. Crawroline. Crawroline? Yes, that's her name. Boss fights, they have RNG, but most of them are pretty simple and straightforward to go through. You won't get fire here in this arena at all, which is why you want to get it in the end of the level. Here's a tomato you can collect if you have taken some damage. But you can see the abilities you can get. It's a Sword, Bomb and Ranger. They're not that good against Crawroline, especially not having fire at the end of the level and end of this boss fight can hurt in the next level. But how do we fight Crawroline is to try to get the flame on her, like that, when she's burning. Then just keep doing the extra damage. And avoid her attacks, of course. Doing a dodge animation, slow down the time. It can be good. It's a preference, you can use that if you want to. If you keep walking from her daggers, she won't hit you. Or running away, doesn't matter. Make a wall jump after she's attacking you. Before she jumps away, try to do a dash attack to it. Jump and dash attack. That's a little bit of damage. A little bit extra damage for that fight. That's World 3, pretty much. Has it been easy by far? I think it has. Remember to skip the blueprint. You don't want that cutscene where you wanna go to the Waddle Dees weapon shop. You don't need to go there anymore, trust me. For this run especially. So that's a World 3. Next world will be a little bit harder. The Waddle Dees requirements will become more strict. There are backups. I'll explain them in the next video. For now, I hope you have enjoyed learning Kirby and the Forgotten Land 80% speedrun. Remember, if you have any questions, always feel free to ask them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them.